but plenty of tomatoes. Alright, should we do this one? Oh my god, I mean, where does one even start? We just got it. Look at the state, look at the bug living under it. Oh. Look at it. Where we're sitting right now is on Great Bear Island, which is just to the sort of the northeast of Auckland, either a half an hour flight or maybe sort of 4.5, 5 hour boat ride on the car ferry. It's basically continues on from the Coromandel Peninsula, but it's its own island just above it. And we are currently on the south side, sort of southeast side of the island on Medlands Beach. So this batch, this is Mikasa, this is the Seegers Medlands Beach batch. Basically, Dad came out here for the first time in 1973 with a friend of his, and he obviously fell in love with the place straight away. And that next year, he bought his first section, which is where we are right now. And then in 1976, he built the house. It was like, he had the frames built in Auckland and shipped them over out here, and then he put this house together with Dave Medlin, who was a part of the Medlin family. That obviously settled this beach as well. Done, mate. I remember sort of my first fish on the rocks with Dad. He sort of took me out, and you know, every time we'd sort of seem to catch some rock cod or something like that. But just that first feeling of catching a fish was something that I'll never forget. You know, that sort of sense of achievement, I suppose. It's that first step of growing up when you can actually compare yourself to, like, your dad, for example. Your dad catches a fish and you just caught a fish. You just did the same thing. It's kind of like one of those moments where you're like, I'm going to be like that. And then other memories include just like playing on the dunes, you know, just up from the beach, like doing roly-poly down the mingy-mingy and always getting the mingy-mingy beads stuck in us, and then you have to rip them out of your clothes, and it was just a mess. I remember one time, it was so much fun, we used to have like cardboard sort of box races, so you'd sit in the back of a cardboard box, hold on to like a wakeboarding bar or something, and you'd get towed behind the motorbike, and you just sort of drive around the whole property, and it was so much fun. It's just such a different lifestyle back in the city. You know, once you get out here, whether it's you jumping on the plane or you jumping on the boat, as soon as you do that, you kind of, in a way, leave one life behind, and you're on a sort of journey or just a quick transit to somewhere where you're living a different life completely, and you can almost be a different person as well. I mean, it's just sort of like taking off a coat and sort of throwing it off, and then going out here, it's just you're on island time, and it really is island time. It's your time. It's time for you to do whatever you want. Everything that you do out here, you choose to do. And there's just something about that really sort of refreshes you, or refreshes the mind, I guess. And then sort of just being surrounded by the nature that there is here, it's just so glorious. The place has just got a real warmth to it as soon as you sort of arrive. That sense of untouched is still here, that sense of a pristine environment that's still in the barrier, and it just brings a whole aura around the island. The forests here, and some of the rivers and the valleys and the waterfalls, and then there's the coastal ecosystems, the dunes, the estuaries, the white sand beaches. You know, they're just littered along both coasts, and it's just a playground for anyone and everyone who sort of loves to get outside in that sea environment. So I've always come out here with nothing on me. You know, I'd never come out with any food or anything, just the essentials of whatever you need, right? And I'd always like to try and live off the land out here, so whether it was vegetables from the garden, or if you could go out fishing or something and you can catch something, it's there's just nothing quite like, I guess, that independence where it's up to you if you want to eat, and it's up to you, like it's completely your decision, it's like in your control in a way, right? And it's exciting as well, because to get something to eat, if you want to eat something, you have to like go out and sort of seek it. You know, you have to go out there, and whether it's go for a fish out on the rocks or on the boat, whether it's to go get some mussels off the rocks, you have to wait for the tide. There's so many different elements of it. If you want to go for a dive, anything like that, you got to think about it, you got to plan it, and it's like a mini mission every time, and it's just always so much fun, so good for the soul as well. Barrier for me, I mean, every time it's just, there's always somewhere you haven't been to, and it's going to surprise you, it's going to amaze you, whatever it is. And just ever since I was a kid, I always had the freedom out here to just basically go and explore, and whatever that meant, whether it was sort of going into the back roads and out into more of some of the forests, some of the Manuka forest, or possibly just walking around the coastline and seeing what's happening down there. I guess it's sort of made me have that desire for that little bit of unknown, or that lust for what just could be around that corner, that X factor that it sort of grinds inside of you, that you just need to find out. And Barrier 100% has had almost everything to do with it, because it taught me how to do that first of all, and it sort of imprinted that idea that that kind of search idea where you're looking for something, and it's incredibly satisfying. You know, if you do find something, sometimes you won't, and sometimes it'll be exactly like the same as what you've just sort of been trying to get through for the last 2 hours, but every now and then it does come out differently, and it just blows your mind. It gives you that perspective. The memories you make with the friends you've had out here, you know, they're friends for a lifetime, and you'll never forget that. I mean, I've been coming out here every summer for the last 20 years, my whole life, I guess, and you know, it's so heavily ingrained, like just that, what you got up to that summer, you know, that time off in the sun, you just can't beat it. And we're so lucky that quite a few people in this country have that pleasure of going somewhere to escape, or that sort of holiday home batch culture, if you like, that's so prominent in New Zealand. Like, New Zealand's just one big backyard, and everyone can. The cool thing about it is that it's accessible for everyone to go and explore some of this backyard. That you don't have to have a batch, you don't have to necessarily own somewhere or have a piece of land anywhere. It's the beautiful thing, is that you can escape anywhere, just in the car or whatever, in a bus, doesn't matter, you can hitchhike. Batches are only a physical housing for really just a place that you like to go to enjoy the whole environment, you know.